It's time to wake up, baby Lank.
Thanks for stopping by. Really having a hard time with this video. It's gonna happen this time. It's gonna happen this time. I'm doing a quick overview of the band. Of Montreal. I'm just gonna show some of Montreal records, say a couple things, and move on. Hopefully. Please go easy on the toilet paper. The situation is not dire, but I'd like you to consider as you're about to use the toilet paper, pull some toilet paper off, like just consider that we're all in this together. And, just think about that, I guess. If you like hot meat, I got you covered with the hot meat sticks. You might want to run over to the cupboard. I prefer that you do it one at a time, just so you're not congregated over there. Maybe you might want to go one to the cupboard and then one to the fridge. You can grab a beer. You can get this or something else. This is Drumroll Hazy Pale Ale from Odell Brewing Company. They make some good beer up there in Fort Collins, I'll tell you that. So I'm not doing a history, really. I'm just going to tell you a couple things of Montreal, and then I'm going to show some of Montreal records. In the not too long ago, I saw Merrick at the Vinyl Truffle. He showed at least, I think, a couple of Montreal records, and then more recently I saw Randall Weaver show a couple of Montreal records. So that kind of got me thinking to do this. You see every once in a while somebody will show something from Montreal. I think years ago, Flipside CT showed something. I think maybe Hissing Fauna, like he showed that record. I kind of wonder, like, because of their catalog is kind of varied, if you blind buy an Of Montreal record, like you could be getting a lot more than you bargained for, or a lot less than you bargained for. But we're just going to run through it, I think. I'm attempting to do this a second time, only to be quicker. I spent too much time in the original run through. I spent too much time on pressings and concerts and on and on. I'm just going to go through the records, say a couple things, move on. It's too many albums. This is the debut, originally released in 1997, Cherry Peel. In 1999, this was released again in a different, like with more instrumentation. I've only heard that original on like a radio station CD copy. I think that I prefer the more fleshed out version, which is every version aside from the 1997 one, I believe. It's pretty much, it's low-key twee pop. This insert is artwork by David Barnes, who does most of the artwork, but not the sleeve is not on that first one. This was also originally released in 1997 as an EP, and then in 1999 was re-released with additional tracks to the point where I consider this like a mini LP. It's almost 30 minutes, pushing 30 minutes at least. So this is called The Bird Who Continues to Eat the Rabbit's Flower. The original EP was just called The Bird Who Eats bird who eats the rabbit's flower or the bird who ate the rabbit's flower. I can't remember now. So this is more, a little more like garage pop, indie pop, still lo-fi. Has covers of the Who song Disguises, Elf Power's Secret Ocean, and Yoko Ono's I Felt Like Smashing My Face Through a Clear Glass Window. Next, this would be their second true LP. This was originally released in 1998. This is 1999, pressing on Kindercore Records. So it's kind of this is my understanding, is it's kind of a loose concept album revolving around the girl from Montreal that he had whatever relationship with or whatever. This is very twee, like cute indie pop, baroque pop. The label. So then in 1999, it's probably my favorite of Montreal record. It's called The Gay Parade. This is also, so this will be their third full-length LP. This is also this is more of a like full-on concept album, baroque pop, sunshine pop, little psychedelic pop. Again, kind of twee, kind of a twee Sgt. Pepper's, perhaps. People have said. I think everybody, like all the characters in the album are represented in the artwork, and when they performed this live, like they acted out the whole like thing when I saw them on it was on a very small stage, that they had costumes and all kinds of stuff going on. It's the label on that. We'll just show this one CD I'm going to show, which is for that, because that's a different artwork's a little different, and I bought this at the show and had them sign it, but of course, like Kevin Barnes signs it as one of the characters, so his name is not even written on here. It's kind of, I think that's the only time I ever attempted to have him sign something. I mean, he did sign it, but he signed it, I believe, as Claude Robert. Anyway.
Everybody's still looking for Nicky Coco. They lost the stuttering organ grinder in the square. They said, oh, no, I have another thing. From the second I go, I kick the ring. Another thing. All the while, Nicky was curled up fast asleep, very peaceful in her invisible tree, eating mangoes in a dream. So the search went on.
So next we're to 2001. So the LP Coquelicot, Asleep in the Poppies, a variety of whimsical verse. This is a double LP, another concept album. This is very much like psychedelic pop, garage pop, very outlandish lyrics, like, you know, made up stories about whatever, peculiar things, I guess. So very much a 60s pop influence. I think that what hurts this record in comparison to The Gay Parade is the last track is like 18 minutes, and it's I don't have a problem with it, but I think it drags down the album as a whole.
to go to the store to get some sleep, because I've run out of sleep. The rowboat came, so David stopped arguing with the mime and waved his arms like wheat. But when he tried to speak, the Prince of Plum fell through the roof of his mouth and handed David an envelope. Inside was a letter that read, "Sir, you were given this envelope. By mistake, please disregard it."
This is All Hills Arboretum, right? I can't remember. All Hills Arboretum. It doesn't say it on here. This would be their 5th full-length LP. More 60s style guitar pop sounds, a little garage sound. It's the last LP before they would go on to sign with Polyvinyl, because Kindercore Records went out of business around this time. You know, this one is not a concept album, or at least that's the way they advertise it. It's kind of a drop down in quality, but I still think there's some great songs on here. So next, this is their first LP released on Polyvinyl Records in 2004. So it's their 6th LP. It's called Satanic Panic in the Attic. Again, I'm not getting into the super history nitty-gritty details, but this was recorded mostly just by Kevin Barnes himself, like in his own self-recorded. He records most of the instruments, I believe. Insert. You still get the guitar, psychedelic guitar pop things going, but there are more the beginnings of more of an electronic sound. I kind of thought because it was, he's recording it, but this is also probably where they start to gain traction a little bit, as far as gaining wider audience. But this next one is from 2005, Sunlandic Twins. This one is certainly where they got some popularity. A lot of this stuff I have no idea, like I would not know. I just accept, now there's more people at the concert, or now they're playing at a bigger venue, or whatever. That's how I would make that determination. I think that around here is where I was like, wow, there's a lot more people here. This one ratchets up even more use of the electronics. It's again basically just Kevin Barnes recorded the whole thing himself. So you get a little more like electro pop, synth pop, starting to get some funk elements, some dance elements. I think this is Black and Clear or something.
When I met you, I was just a kid, hadn't built up my defenses, so I gave my heart completely, Vaseline over the lenses. Memories don't go away, I remember every day. I never ever stop wondering if you still think of us. I don't need a photograph, 'cause you've never left my mind. No, you've never left my mind.
Next, is a trio of albums that I guess are concepts that go together. I don't even know at the time of these being released. I was only probably vaguely even aware of the background story to all this stuff. But these progressively, the next 3 albums are progressively, I think, better selling than anything before or since. Except maybe the Sunlandic Twins can stand up, but as far as like charting albums, these are the biggest ones. So this one is called Hissing Fauna, Are You the Destroyer? Their 8th full-length LP from 2007. This is their first LP that charted in the United States, and it was number 72, for what that's worth. This incorporates more glam, funk, some psych pop, some more synth pop, and the live shows at this point started to ratchet up the production. I mean, even like I mentioned before, even early they were doing a lot of stuff on, like, I mean, the shows were very interesting, but by this point it was turned up a notch or two. Further yet, this is an album called Skeletal Lamping from 2008. This is the middle album of the trio of what they call the Georgie Fruit albums. So this one is all over the place. Even like within a song, it will go from being like almost a disco dance song and then quickly change into this like a psych pop song. Like it really is all over the place. So it goes from like R&B, glam, funk, disco. You oftentimes can't tell like where one track ends and one begins, or what the hell's going on. Anyway, Skeletal Lamping, and for this show is the one where he hangs himself on stage, and he's like wears a diaper on stage, like just a diaper. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into. In the times that I talked to him multiple times, he struck me as being just super shy, and then just a handful of years later he's on stage in front of 1,000 people in a diaper. The third and final Georgie Fruit releases. This is called False Priest. It was released in 2010. You get big time R&B, funk, psychedelic funk, a lot of Prince vibes. This is produced by John Bryan is how you say it. That's how I always said it. But I could be wrong. Has Janelle Monáe on a couple tracks and Solange on a track. This is their highest charting album to date. Has just the amazing book. I'm not going to show the whole book, but just with this more, David Barnes artwork. I actually think this album is somewhat underrated. I think a lot of people don't like this album that much, but I do. Next, this is from 2012. The album is called Paralytic Stalks. Again, it doesn't say on there. This one is a pretty dark record. It's kind of experimental and an odd mix of sounds. I found this one very hard to get into at the time of its release. It's 9 songs running 60 minutes, or approximately 60 minutes. There's a handful of songs I really like on here, and I can listen to this and still enjoy it, but this would be a hard one to recommend. So now we're up to their 12th LP called Lousy with Sylvan Briar. I think originally Kevin Barnes was going to go to he did go to San Francisco, but his intention was to release like a solo album or some sort of side project, so not under the name of Montreal. And the sound on this is significantly different to the previous handful of records, or maybe even the previous 5 records. Harkens a bit back to the early albums, but this has more of a fleshed out, I don't know, 70s rock, country rock sound. It's a completely different band, and it is a band recording, unlike all the albums that he was recording on his own. Anyway.
Girl with the flu, I hear the death room, she ain't doing well. Her eyes, they seem cast and fatherless. Her psyche's cracked door. Anyhow, she ain't speaking now. Nightfall like some leaden sea dilates as I hold vigil by your bed.
Next is from 2015. The album is called Aureate Gloom. This one has a bit of 70s glam hard rock influences in it. Again, recorded with the full band. Definitely moves away from the more organic sounds of Lousy the Sylvan Briar, the previous record, which is a very good record. I think one thing I didn't say is, so like, I know a lot of people that don't really like Montreal that like this record. Like they don't like the wacky, they don't like the wacky electronics and disco and funk, and they also don't like the twee pop of the early stuff, but they do like this one. Like, so take that for what it's worth. This one I never really got into a ton, but you know.
I never followed no kind of master's voice. The mutinous tramp of cold voltage crucifixion is my conduit. I just watch my hero fail. Now I'm in a dark and violent funk. Every lead out is a cellophane punk. If you hear me say yeah, 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 yeah.
So now, just another year later, we're up to their 14th LP. This was released in 2016. It's called Innocence Reaches. So he takes another turn. This is, it's very much like a synth pop, electro pop, almost like just a techno almost influenced record. It's a double LP at 45 RPM. I kind of like some of the songs on here, but like even saying like techno inspired, it still really does sound like of Montreal. Like this probably is more in line with the Georgie Fruit records. Like you could be more like it fits more with that style. So 15th LP. This is from 2018. It's called White is Relic. Aurelius Mood. I don't even know. Yeah. So we're back to really, I think even the last one too, self-recorded, self-produced. Fairly unusual release. It's it's almost sort of like proggy. I think that he says it's inspired by like 80s extended dance mix, like the extended dance mixes on 12-inch dance mixes. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this one really, I don't know if I feel like I've really listened to it enough. It's pretty dense. So I don't know. So last, this is their 16th, their 16th LP, released in 2020, so just this year. This, like, compared to this, it's like, it's another complete left turn, I guess, if you want to say. This is inspired by, like, 80s pop. It's called You're Fun, or You Are Fun. I don't this has, I think, the first album in a long time that doesn't have the artwork done by his brother. So again, this really sounds like middle period of Montreal, in spite of the fact he's saying that he's going for like an 80s pop sound, and you can definitely hear that there, but it's designed to be like standalone singles put onto an album. Yeah. So no, minus, it doesn't have the concepts running through it. Just a lot like middle period of Montreal. So thanks for attempting to watch this. Be back next week with your typical douche-episode. Take care.
Chase wave to spires with fiery plume, and inside the firmament's portrait of it drowning in sticks that gives imitate care.